lines, you got your game right, and you're out there and you're doing really good, and then you walk across that door. And then it's, and then you're out and you're going, what the just happened? Right? You do this and you're up above it. The body's ready to work. The voice is ready to work. You know? This is physical. We are actors. What we do is action. It's physical. If we don't pay attention to that, we're not doing as good as we could. Okay? I hope you're doing the numbers. You're going to see the new people, if you haven't already seen them, you're going to see the numbers exercise tonight. You should be doing that every day. Okay? This kind of warm-up you should be doing before you do your scene work. Voice and body. And link it up with the emotional energy. It's so much fun. Isn't that fun? To get that crap you've been carrying around in a bag all week? Oh, just, yeah, get it out. Feels good, right? How many of you, when you first audited this class and then you came into the class, you had a monologue or a scene prepared, and then there's you think you know it, and then there's you know it, right? And you put it under load, which is what we do in this class, and then you know the difference between knowing and really not knowing. So if you prepare for that, when I go into an audition, I'm prepared for battle, but in a good way. I mean, I'm sending love to everybody in there, and I really changed a lot of the way I think about the audition process, and it's a goof for me. It's a chance to act. I worked with Brian Dennehy on a movie. I spent most of the time, he's 5 by 5. I mean, he's huge and everything, and I spent half my time, whenever he turned this way, I had to go to the side or I was obliterated. It was hilarious. Anyway, he said he used to tell stories and everything. He says, I love to audition. He said, I love it. He says, it's a chance to act in front of real industry people. And I've told you over and over and over again, from the moment you start your audition in that room, they are no longer casting directors, and producers. They are an audience. They're just saying, get us out of this room, okay? Be wonderful so we can give you the job and we can get on to making our story. And they care about it, and they're moved. If you, I mean, I built my resume basically being a reader for a casting director for every project she did, and we saw miracles, and we saw people stumble, and we saw a lot of stuff. I mean, you saw the whole gamut, but we were prepared when somebody came in, tell us the story. We're all sitting there, and we're people in an audience. Why do we sit in an audience with other people in the dark and laugh and cry with other strangers? Why do we do that? Because we're human and we want to know stories and we want to feel something and we want to be affected. I went to the event. How many of you have seen the Avengers?
No, I don't say that.
I have never been in a superhero movie and been moved to tears before. And my kid and I are both crying in the movie, and I'm going, what the hell's going on here, right? And then Hulk smacks somebody. No, I'm not gonna blow it for you. But this guy, no. No. But it was, and it's a wonderful experience. And my only goal as an actor is to be able to make people laugh and cry in the same 2 hours. If you tell the story, those things all will have their place. If the story is about somebody in crisis, and your responsibility is to show them emotionally. One of the things I'm doing is I'm making a list as I watch TV and films of scenes in particular series or film that have great physical, emotional stakes in them. Because there is this discussion among some actors as well, oh, stage acting is different than film and TV. And my take on this has always been, it's bullshit. If you're lying in front of a camera, you're lying on stage. If you're lying on stage, you're lying in front of the camera. There are certainly logistical things that are different about it. And in TV and film, you get as many retakes as you want before they decide to fire you. Or if you're the star, as many retakes as you want. But in stage, it's live, and things are different a little bit, but the essence of it is still the same. We're telling the truth under imaginary circumstances. Somebody said this week about, there was the one quote that said, you can't as an actor indicate that you're sad or you're angry. You have to be angry or sad or real. Why? Because all audiences are perfect and everything you do reads. And I didn't make the rules, as I said to you, but I do enforce them, and so does the audience. We know when you're feeling what you're feeling. Because it moves us. It's like somebody just put a hook in us and we got a channel between us and it's flowing between us, and man, it's there, right? Or not. So that's your responsibility, and you can cry on cue. I've seen you do it, I've made you do it. And you better be able to do it when you need to, if that's what it's called for. Anyway, I'm going to be introducing these particular outtakes from these shows that I hope that you will then go watch and see the extremes in behavior. And if you can't do that, you better learn how, because that's what they're buying, okay? And that's what we're teaching in here. Try putting on some candles, put on a cape, and doing a Shakespeare monologue, and tell me you don't feel different. You do. It's feel. We have to get across emotions and characters and people doing things under imaginary circumstances, but making it real to the audience. And again, that people in that room is just an audience. Just a couple things, and then we're going to get busy because we got some new folks and lots of work to do. Just back to the the position of actors having to be your own support system. Just remember, nothing is impossible. Even the word itself says, "I'm possible." Audrey Hepburn came up with that one. I thought that was cool. Impossible is not a fact. It's an opinion, especially when we're talking about our business. Without passion, life is nothing. That's why I chose acting. It's the only thing in my life I was ever passionate about. I love it. Okay, sometimes it's you have a tough day, but you come back to it. Why am I here? Why are you doing it? Why you do it? Because you love it, right? That's all the justification you're ever going to need. We're all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars. Oscar Wilde said that. I love that one. And last but not least, and please, this will happen to you if it already hasn't happened, but every great man or woman was called an idiot by someone. Thank you. Let's get busy.